Happy Monday, and this is your RE lesson for Monday the 25th of January, all about life after death and what do Hindus believe about karma. So karma might be a word that you've heard before. If so, just pause the video here and write down what you think the definition of karma is, and then later we can see if you are correct. So what do you think karma is? Have you heard the word before? And if you have, in what scenario or in what sense? Have a little think about that. So we'll see if you are correct. So what is karma? Karma refers to the law of a cause and effect. So actions having consequences. So if you do something, what's going to happen from that action? So if I am running late and I can't put my shoes on, because I'm running late, I miss the bus. So that is a cause and effect. And karma refers to this when you do a good or bad action and what consequence these have. Hindus believe this is a law of the universe. So the universe is in charge of karma, and each of their actions will have an effect on something else. So it's kind of like a spinning wheel. Everything you do carries on and it has an effect on something else, other people, other situations. And that is what Hindus believe, and everything is connected within the universe. So see if you are correct. If not, now I've explained it a little bit more, can you write down another definition of what you think karma is, please? So you can pause the video, you can copy from the slide, or you can think about it in your own sentences. So Hindus believe that karma will decide where you come back and what you come back as. So they think if you're a good person in your first life, in your human life, if you're polite, if you do good things, if you work for charities, if you're a nice person, they think, oh, all those good traits in a person that will help you. Kind of similarly to the ancient Egyptians, which we're working on at the minute. If you are a good person in this life, then in the afterlife, just like in the Egyptians think, then you will be born again into a good rebirth, into good circumstances. So you might be richer in the next life, or you might have nicer situations. So everything you do in this life, they believe, has a consequence for your next life. So if your actions are good, you will get a good rebirth into pleasant circumstances. However, if you're bad in this life, if you commit a crime, if you're not a law-abiding citizen, if you're nasty, if you hurt people, then they believe that you've been a bad person in this life and you must be punished in your next life, and you will be born into bad circumstances. So they believe everything happens for a reason in that way, and to show you're a good person, you want good karma. So in a lifetime, people build up karma, both good and bad, based on their actions within their lifetime. There are a lot of different types of rebirth. For example, human or pig, a prince or a homeless person, in India or in England. Hindus believe it all depends on what you deserve. So if you were born in this life and you're quite wealthy, you live in England, you've got a good family, you've got a nice big home, and in this life you're quite a bad person, even though you've got all those lovely things, you're a bad person. You're mean, you might break the law, you might be nasty. So therefore, in the next life, when you die and then you come back as another thing, you might come back as an animal that's not so great. You might come back to a circumstance that's not as good. So you might come back as a child living in a really poor country like Africa, Ethiopia, and you don't have money or you don't have a house. So everything that you do in the life that you have has a connection to your next life. So obviously in the life that you are in now, they believe they want you to do good things. So in the next life, you will have another good life. You don't want to come back as an animal or even like a germ or anything that's living, a tree, anything. So they think in that next life, it determines from your previous life. So now I've explained it in a little bit more detail. Can you write down what you think karma is, and can you give a little bit of an explanation of it as well, please? So your task today is to suggest actions which could affect people's karma or person's karma. So we're going to think of some reasons or some traits or some things or some actions which have affected karma in a good way and karma in a bad way. So if you could split your page into two, we're going to say good karma and bad karma. And then in the good karma section, we're going to suggest ways someone may get good karma for their reincarnation. So in this life that they're in now, what positive things that they can do, what positive things can they do that can help them get a great life in their next life once they've died and they've been reincarnated into something else. They want to be reincarnated into a good family, into a wealthy family, into a good country. So now it's up to you to write down some things that they could do in this life which will help them get good karma. So you could write, they could work for charities, they could give money away, they could be helpful to their family, they could be kind to their friends. So give me a little list of things that would be good. And then again, in your bad column, can you suggest ways someone may get bad karma? So that could be breaking the law, committing a crime, hurting people. So you carry on with that, and that is your task 1 to do that one. And then in this section is your task 2. So attached to this thing on Dojo, this is a link, but on Dojo there will be a PDF of what you can see on screen now, which is Religious Journey of Snakes and Ladders. So you can either print it off or you can copy it out into your books. It's just a table with 1 to 30, so you can pause the screen and copy it out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to design your own game of snakes and ladders, and this is going to be associated with karma. So the snakes that you go down, which help you lose the game, are going to be associated with bad karma, and the ladders that you climb up are going to be associated with good karma. So you're going to add scenarios and situations around the board near the snakes and near the ladders that are going to help you move up or go down. So for example, at the bottom of the ladder that you usually go up to help you win the game, you could put a scenario like you gave some money to charity and then you go up the ladder. And then on the snakes, where you're at the head of the snake and then you have to go down the snake. So for example, the head of the snake could be on 27 and it could go all the way down to 13. And at the head of the snake, you would write, you have bad karma because you called somebody a name or because you were nasty to somebody. So you can design your own snakes and ladders. It could have as many ladders and as many snakes as you would like, as long as you have a situation in which the karma would reflect that you have good karma or bad karma. So you can have a go at playing that with your brothers, sisters, mum and dad, auntie, uncle, whoever is in your household. And yeah, I'd love to see who wins with your snakes and ladders activity. If you want to make it bigger, you can do. You can go as much as you want. You could go up to 100 if you can make it all the boxes the same and make it look like a proper board game. Or if you already have snakes and ladders as a game at home, maybe you could play it, but then you could write little pieces and scenarios on a piece of paper and you could put them onto your real snakes and ladders, and then that will help you kind of understand the situation of bad and good karma. So I hope you have fun playing the game and send us loads of pictures, and we can't wait to see.